Hello, everyone, and welcome to Club Deck Corner here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. I am your host, Scott Carney, and joining me today is Ali Pearson. How's it going, mate?
Not too bad yourselves.
Yeah, not bad, mate. It's going to be a wee bit later today, it's all Ali's fault, but he'll explain that later on. And Jamie Law, how's it going, mate?
I'm very well, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate, good. Rangers are back, so yeah, I'm absolutely delighted, mate. So the new season's, pre-season's kicked off, really, but yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing to see Rangers again. We'll touch on that later on, of course, but obviously we're here to round up some Rangers news, and at the end we are obviously just going to touch on the Euros. Rude of us not to. But just before we do, there's just two things I wanted just to get into just before we start the Rangers stuff. First off, it's just a bit of a thank you to everyone that listens and supports the podcast. Our subscribers and our views and our listens and everything's it's going up and up and up, and it's very humbling. It also makes us very proud and makes us want to do more. Your support is genuinely incredible, and from all of us here, we thank you all for supporting us. Once we get back to the stadiums, we've got a few plans on how we're going to adapt the podcast once we get back to bring you the best quality podcast that we can. So please stick around, please tell your friends, tell your family. But again, thank you so much for the incredible support for our pod. And second of all, it's just a pointer to the Bars for Bears Family Fun Day this Saturday. There's a match between Bars for Bears and Nightingale FC, which will include ex-Rangers players. So it's 10th of July, 2 p.m. kick-off, and it's the new Tinto Park, which is near Ibrox. There's still tickets available. So click on the link in the description for this show and we will see you there. Now, lads, let's get into Rangers news. And of course, there is only one place to start, and that is Rangers have announced that we will be taking on Real Madrid in a pre-season friendly on Sunday the 25th of July. This also follows the announcement of a game that's going to be taking place on the 24th of July, which is against Brighton at Ibrox. So obviously means there's going to be two teams. But an article on the club website said Rangers Football Club 150 years has seen countless memories created, not only with regular record-breaking success at home, but also in continental competition where the club have enjoyed so many phenomenal nights. It has seen the club become a name which resonates right round the continent with football supporters of all generations. And this coming year, of course, it will see the Light Blues become the first major European club to reach a milestone of 150 years. It seems rather fitting, therefore, the club can today confirm another of Europe's major clubs as the opposition for the final pre-season fixture for Steven Gerrard's side. 13-time champions of Europe, Real Madrid, led by Carlo Ancelotti, will visit Ibrox on Saturday the 25th of July as the final test ahead of the competitive action, which will begin 6 days later on Saturday the 31st of July. The club also announced there's a special July match pass granting access to the 5 games for $29.95, and it will cover the Tranmere, Arsenal, Blackpool, Brighton and Real Madrid matches. So Ali, first off, this is very, very impressive from the club and very, very exciting.
Yeah, I was talking to Paul at my work today, and he was asking me Rangers fixtures before they kick off the season, and I was telling him, and I says we end in Brighton, and I literally sat down, and 5 minutes later my phone pinged with an email, and I looked at it. I had to look at it twice. I went Real Madrid, and then I looked at the date and went the next day after the Brighton game. I was like, what's going on here? And what a glamour tie! I mean, Real Madrid, they kept that quiet, Rangers, because there was no sniff of that at all. I don't think anywhere, but. It's some game. I mean, if I can get into Ibrox for that, please let me in. 6 o'clock. It's a Sunday. I'll probably take the Monday off of work if I can. I don't know how they'll do it in terms of that we've got the Shane Duffy testimonial, obviously, the day before. So I don't know how they'll juggle it. Whether they'll give the players, they'll split it into 2 teams and give them 45 minutes each game or something. Maybe I don't know, but it's absolutely buzzing for that, and what a game to end the pre-season before we go and defend the title.
It's incredible. I couldn't believe it as well, mate. I double checked as well. I was like, no way. I immediately checked Twitter as well. I was like, this is a bam up. There's no way this is true. This is a massive tie. I mean, this is only the second time I think Rangers have ever played Real Madrid, and it's absolutely huge. I'm going to presume that this was a kind of last minute thing to be confirmed, and Brighton was confirmed before it, because I don't know why they would do the 2 days together. Brighton are probably a wee bit annoyed because I'd imagine they're going to play a a weakened side. I'll say it won't be the full Rangers as you would expect. I think Steven Gerrard will keep his kind of first team for Sunday, but I mean, it's tremendous. I really do hope that we're allowed in. I know it won't be a full stadium because it's never going to work like that, but I hope I get a ticket for that. I don't know how they'll work it, I really don't, but that's just absolutely tremendous. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of the club to be able to get us over the line. Jamie, your thoughts on Los Blancos coming to Ibrox, mate?
I was excited watching us against Partick Thistle the other night, never mind Real Madrid. I actually was looking through their squad list today and just some of the names that they've got in that squad. It's going to be incredible. I know their league starts, I think it's 2 weeks after ours. I think they're middle August. So I guess much like when we fared up against Partick Thistle, they're probably a couple of weeks before us. So it'll still obviously be an incredible test. I coming up against that quality of player. The idea of being able to get an Ibrox and see that game, it would be amazing.
Oh, it's just incredible. As I say, I know they're doing a pre-season training camp in Scotland. Weird they're doing it in St Andrews, the one that Dundee United wouldn't let us use. So the Real Madrid are using it. But yeah, I'd imagine it's again. I think it just. This is a Steven Gerrard effect as well. This is the big name. This is the manager that we've got that we will be able to attract a club like this to come and play a friendly with us. And I know it's only a friendly. I'm not getting carried away, but this is huge. I mean, this is arguably the second biggest club in the world. Do you know what I mean? Coming to play at Ibrox, and yeah, I'm absolutely made up. That the club have announced that. I just couldn't believe it when I seen it. I was like, Real Madrid? I was like, no way. Can't stop talking about it. As soon as the missus came in from work, I was like, Rangers are playing Real Madrid. She's like, I've seen it all over Facebook and Twitter. But I think it's incredible. I really do. And it's just kudos to the club for doing this. And I cannot wait to see it. Honestly, I can't. Yeah, as I say, it won't be full competitive match, obviously, but yeah, still a massive thing to look forward to. And what a way, as you said, Ali, to kick us off for basically the start of the season. I'm absolutely delighted about it. The only thing is that obviously we've all seen on Twitter as well that Sergio Ramos has papped himself and decided that he'll leave as soon as he can because he doesn't want to go up against Morelos. That's what everybody seems to be saying anyway. I'm not taking credit for that, but yeah, as I say, I'm really looking forward to it. Bring it on, and can I have a ticket, please? Please, can I have a ticket? I can't wait, really can't wait. But we'll move on, and we'll move on to John Lundstrom, who has signed for Rangers on a 3-year deal. He is coming to Rangers on a free transfer after spending 2 years playing in the Premier League. Rangers have been after him for a while, and that was admitted by Gerrard and Gary Mack. Speaking to RTV, he said the size of the club and speaking to the manager was a massive draw for me. Speaking to John Fleck, as soon as I mentioned it to him, he told me not to hesitate in getting up here. I am made up to get it over the line. Hopefully I can contribute to a bit of success. There are so many football people around the club. Gary McAllister is another one who I looked up to when I was a kid. I'm just eager to get started with the football knowledge I'm sure I'm going to gain. I feel I've matured as a player and as a person. I have fire in my belly and I'm raring to go. He also then touched on his dream for kind of playing in the Champions League. There's another massive draw for me, and hopefully if we can qualify to the group stages, that will be unbelievable for everyone at the club. So me and Ali, we touched on it. We'll get into a wee bit more depth of it. Jamie, this is your the first time you've been on the pod to speak about it anyway. Do you agree with what we're saying, that this is a cracking bit of business by Rangers?
Incredible. I think it's a great signing. Over the past weeks and months, we spoke about probably the midfield being the main area we want to strengthen. I do follow the Premier League quite a bit. John Lundstrom's actually a player I know through either both Football Manager as well as fantasy football. Just through, again, for Sheffield United, probably 2 years ago was his best season, scoring quite a lot of goals. He describes himself as a box-to-box midfielder, but I think he's really robust. He's a type of midfielder that I don't think we've got within the squad at the moment. So yeah, really impressed with being able to get that over the line. I think he will have had a lot of different offers probably to stay in the Premier League. I know Sheffield United went down. So yeah, incredible bit of business, and I think he's going to really add to the squad. I don't see him slotting straight in. I've been asked who I think he'd take the place of, but I think whilst Jack is coming back from injury, I think he'll slot straight in him, Davis and Kamara in the middle for me.
If we keep a hold of Kamara, that's another conversation. But yeah, mate. I mean, I didn't even realise he was only 27. This guy's in the peak of his powers. Do you know what I mean? He's hitting his kind of peak years, and I agree with you, mate. There's going to be offers in the Premiership. Obviously, maybe not your biggest clubs, but there's no doubt like teams like Villa and stuff like that are going to be kind of knocking about, asking questions regarding him, and I think it's just a real coup for the club. And even Gary Mack said that in interviews that I seen on RTV in the start of the Partick Thistle game. He even said that himself, that it's a real coup for the club, and yeah, I can't wait to see him. Ali, he was saying all the right things, is he not?
Yeah, he's got to be honest, but I think he's a great signing. I listened to David Edgar and Heart and Hand had a brief interview with him the other night, and I listened to it, and the way he was just basically describing himself, what he is, as Jamie touched on, he's a box-to-box player, loves a tackle. I agree with Jamie, and I said it the other night, he's a player that I think we miss. Somebody with a bit of dig in the middle of the park, somebody that's going to put their foot in there. You could say Ryan Jack to a point can do that, but he's been injured quite a bit. When Ryan Jack's not there, the midfield, they're not too nice, but they're ball players. So I think he'll complement the midfield quite well. I agree with Jamie in terms of the midfield three. I could see that, and they might push Aribo to the wide right, where I prefer him. So we'll need to see what happens. I did see he was training today on the Rangers Twitter today, so he's in training. So I'd imagine he'll get a run out against Tranmere on Saturday. But I'm buzzing to see him. At 27 years of age, he could have got probably a lot more money down south, but to come up to Rangers, play in front of 50,000 people every week when we get in, Champions League hopefully, and to win 56 and some cups as well. It's no wonder he's come up here. It's Glasgow Rangers, so yeah, he'll know all about it when he walks out in the Ibrox.
Yeah, I think as well it opens up so many. I mean, we've got a big squad right now. I think that's kind of the easiest way to say it. There's a lot of players for a lot of places right now, and it's going to be interesting to see who we decide to release, who we decide to loan out, or who we decide to keep. I mean, you're saying that, Ali, about kind of Roof getting pushed out to the not Roof, Aribo getting pushed out to the right hand side. But what about Kamar Roof? Because from what we've heard and what it looks like is that the Rangers have knocked back the initial bid from Porto for Alfredo. So it doesn't look like Alfredo's really in any great rush to go or to be sold. So do you drop Roof? Do you drop Morelos? Do you drop Kent? I mean, there are three players that I think you can't drop. Kent especially, but Roof probably, as we were saying after the Partick Thistle game, you can see the quality that he's got, and if he's got a really good pre-season, he could be one of the most important players we're going to have this season. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a headache that Gerrard's going to be absolutely delighted to have, but, I mean, who do you drop? Do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, who do you drop? I mean, what do you think, Jamie? What do you think on that? Like, the squad's huge.
It is, right, but I think that's the difference. So see, even going back to the Q&A we had, and we're talking about success, this for me is going to be the difference of us. We're talking about going for 56, but we want to add some domestic cups as well, and that's where having this really strong team environment of people accepting that they're not going to be able to play every single game. You probably will have your Tavs, your Goldsons, probably Kent that will in the main. We're going to need to rely on people like Roof coming in, and there will be people that we need to be cute with, whether it's Jack, Roof, who are injury prone, that we can manage. So, like you say, it's a headache, but it's a good headache to have, and that we've got a really strong squad. But I think going back to the pod you boys done on, I think it was Monday night, immediately after the Partick game, like you say, there was people there that are in the shop window, so it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks to see whether we bring any more in and who else goes.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely an interesting window, and it's a good window for Rangers to be in. It's been a long time since we've been this comfortable through our transfer window, where we're just adding quality, and we've not actually lost MD yet. I know the Euros are still technically going on. Obviously, we've got the final to come, and the most of the business is going to pretty much pick up straight after that. That's when clubs will start making their move, I think. But it's still a funny market in terms of where we've been for the past 18 months with COVID and stuff. So it's still a bit of an iffy market. Yeah, it looks like crowds are going to get let back in at some point this year, hopefully by the end of this year, we're hopefully back to near enough capacity anyway, you would like to think so clubs will start recouping a bit money from that, and I think they'll be planning for that. But I mean, Ali, as you say, you mentioned obviously Lundstrom fitting into the three, same as Jamie, but you've still got players like Jack, you've still got players like Arfield still to come back to full fitness. Lundstrom's going to be on a good wage. I'd imagine now he's probably one of the highest paid. I'm just presuming here, I've got no idea. I'm just presuming here. So do you think he's at the conversation where you might not play every game, or do you think he's one of the ones that they've said you will be playing?
We talk about Scott Arfield. I mean, he's not getting any younger either. I think Scott Arfield must be 31, I think, maybe 32 possibly. I don't know. Again, he's injury prone as well. I didn't think he would play every game last season, Scott Arfield. Obviously, he came in when Aribo got injured. But Rangers the last couple of years have done their business early doors. And again, we've done it early doors. We've Offerbor's there. Obviously Lundstrom's there.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, I haven't even seen him. Faction Sakala, who we've not seen.
Forgot about him too.
Yeah, so we've done our business early, and we always do our business early because you've got the European competitions coming in the corner in July, which we don't this season. We kick off the first week of August in the Champions League, but I think from now on you'll start to see players leave Rangers because they need to trim the squad. We've got 6 centre backs, 2 need to go basically. I could see Katic going out on loan, which I've said previously. And then you look, the midfield as well is looking now heavy at the moment. But last season we kind of said that as well, and then we were down at the bare bones at the end of the season. So I think he might be all right with the midfield now. I don't know if he'll bring anyone else in at the moment, Gerard. I think he might be quite happy with what he's got. I don't know where we would really add at the moment. I know we were on about the midfield, but if you've got Lundstrom there, the guy for Bournemouth we were on about, Jack, Arfield, Hadji can sit in there, Aribo can sit in there. It's a lot of options now. So, yeah, I think players will leave Rangers. Your Jordan Jones, your George Edmondson, Brandon Barker, your pal, I'd imagine he'll be going as well. So there's, there'll be a lot of players leaving Rangers soon, and we need to brace ourselves because there is going to be at least one main player at Rangers leaving this season. I know Morelos has been touted with Porto for the last God knows how many weeks. There will be somebody going. We've all said Kamara for I don't know how long. I'm surprised nobody's had a nibble at him. They might have them, we don't know about it, but there is going to be players leaving. There is, and there will be a major player from Rangers leaving. We need to, because it's the way, it's the business model of the football club. So, but no, I'm happy the way Rangers are doing it. I'm really happy, and I'm just buzzing to see them all in these friendlies.
I can't wait, and I think it's going to be very interesting once the kind of business settles down, that what the starting 11 actually might look like, and in the nicest possible way, without giving everyone the fear, myself included, is we don't know who's going to go. Do you know what I mean? But the model that we're running on, as you said, we have to. Somebody has to go. We have to cash in at some point. I mean, if Morelos goes, do we bring in another striker? It's just, there's so many questions yet still to be answered, and it is exciting. I mean, it really is. I don't want any of this team to go. None of us do. These guys have got a place in our heart forever, apart from Brandon Barker. He's the only one that I would be quite happily see go, because I still can't understand how he ever played for Rangers. But as I say, I think that the main heart of the squad is. It's going to be forever in our hearts, really, and they're always going to be the team that brought us 55. So it's going to be an interesting window. I don't think there's really any doubt about that, and it'll be interesting to see who stays and who goes. But yeah, I mean, the way Rangers are doing business, if we're continuing to pick up Bosman's pretty much for a player that's played in the Premier League for 2 years, and not just played. I mean, especially his first season with Sheffield United, he proper impressed. His second year, not as much, but his first year especially. I mean, if you're getting attracting players like that, then yeah, I'm really, really all for it. So we'll just briefly touch on it. So obviously we done a Rangers kicked off obviously their pre-season with a 1-0 win over Partick Thistle on Monday night. There's a full club reaction pod available where me and Ali went through the game as much as we could, considering it was really a training match. So you can go check that out if you'd like more kind of in-depth analysis of the game. Jamie, obviously you didn't come on the pod on Monday. What did you make of it as much as you could, mate? Yes, we all know it's, again, a glorified training match, really, but what did you make of it? Anybody particularly stick out for you?
Really good to see the team back. As I said, it was exciting seeing them even come up against Partick Thistle, but you could see obviously two different sides in either half. I thought the first half I was really impressed with Scott Wright, someone we've not actually spoke about there in the kind of forward line. I think he's going to have a big season this year. Spoke about obviously or listened to you boys speaking about him looking as if he's put on a bit of muscle. So he's looking a bit more durable. I sort of seen him as being one of those front three players, but again, it looked as if he was sitting kind of further back and being involved in dictating the play. So really, really tidy player, and it was good to see him in the first half. Obviously, with the kind of more younger or fringe players, I thought he stood out. Second half, Stephen Kelly. Really impressed me. Again, very, very tidy, but just get that aura of confidence about him. Just demanded the ball, sat in deep and not dictated the play, but he was very confident. So it was good to see him. You can see that going out on loan last year has really benefited him. It'll be interesting to see. I know we're talking about the squad there and talking about the midfield and it being strengthened, but it's going to be interesting to see what the club do with him this year. I think you've got the debate of him staying and learning from your players like Davis, Lindstrom, even Arfield, Kamara, occasionally being involved, or does he go out on loan again? I agree with, again, you touched on Roof. I thought he was really impressive and really pleased to see it and take his well as well. So yeah, a good run out. Good to see the team in the main get 45 minutes into the legs. You can see we're still finding our feet, but training match, it was good to see the team back.
Definitely. I think the point about Stephen Kelly is, I think obviously kudos to him for knuckling down, but he seemed to believe in himself. He seemed to believe that he belonged where he was, and I mean that's a massive thing as being a Rangers player, especially in the middle of the park. You have to have belief in yourself, and you've got to know that you can do this and you can play that role. But I mean, even the players we've just spoke about there, I didn't even think about. They've not even spoken about it in right. I mean, there's going to be no doubt we've got two teams to play 2 games in like 2 days. I mean, but that's easy done right now because there's so many players. We didn't even mention Scott Wright when we were talking about the squad there, and I think it was really important for the players to get the kind of run out that they did. Obviously, it's very, very early days. Yes, a lot of them are going to be leaving. I think the shop window is firmly open on Rangers, especially with some of them, and the jury's out with quite a number of them. But yeah, I mean, it was good to see, and I'm one for. If we need, I said it on the post match on Monday night, is we need to utilise the youth system as much as we possibly can. We need to take advantage of it. We shouldn't have this in place and not be taking advantage of it. So last year was probably a wee bit too early for Kelly to be part of or what Gerrard would maybe thought to be part of the squad going forward. But I mean, I think he could compete in the kind of, I don't want to say lesser teams, but you know what I mean, the kind of bottom 6 of the SPL and play his part in the Rangers midfield. So yeah, I mean, I think he's the one that's kind of gathered the most praise, probably I would say, from Monday night. Ali, you get anything to add on from Monday night?
Not too much. We covered it pretty much on Monday night. I mean, Stephen Kelly, we did mention what do you do with him? The chance of him getting an actual game in that team next year after us saying all the players we've got in that midfield is quite slim unless we meet lower team in a cup or something. But I think we did mention he was at Ross. He's been at Ayr United. He's been to Ross County. He's up the levels. Do you put him out one last loan this season to I think we mentioned a Hibs or a Hearts or somebody, a kind of higher team, if you want to say, within the Premiership. So yeah, I would probably put him out in loan with maybe a recall in January or something, just to see how he's doing for the 6 months and see if he can go to that next level. But yeah, I thought he played really, really well, and like Jamie mentioned, I mentioned it on Monday night about Roof as well. I really think it's a big season for Roof. I think Rangers see Roof, if Morelos goes, if he goes, as the replacement, I think. But the problem is, I don't know if we can rely on Roof in terms of injuries. That's the problem. I honestly think Rangers can see him as a replacement for Morelos, because at times on Monday night, he was miles ahead of other people in that park. He's just his intelligence, the way he can turn with a ball. I just hope he stays fit. That's my only hope.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Rangers thinking he's probably the replacement, I can get that. They are two completely different players, though. They really are, but in terms of comes to strikers, whether Rangers adopt dare I say it, the Liverpool false nine that Firmino plays, I think that would more suit Roof than suit Alfredo anyway. But then again, Alfredo last season did a lot of dropping deeper and getting himself more involved middle of the park and making the runs that Roof would probably make. So maybe they'll work on them both to be the kind of striker that they want them to be. So it'll be interesting to see. As I say, it's just going to be an interesting window. It really is. It's been so long since we've been able to sit here and speak about how strong our squad is.
I was about to say as well, we've not even touched on another dilemma, and we've just went through umpteen dilemmas there. But Nathan Patterson in Tav next season as well, and Gary Mack alluded to it months ago about somebody asking the question about the two of them in the team, and he did mention about a possible change of formation. Now, I don't think Rangers will change formation. I think the 4-3-3 suits Rangers. That's the way they like to play. But that's another dilemma, because Nathan Patterson won't want to sit on the bench next year because he's just shot.
He's too good. He's too good. Yeah, he is. He's too good to sit on the bench, mate. And again, they're talking about like moving Tav into the midfield. Look, where's he going to play? Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting one. Jamie, that's a good question though. What do you do with Nathan Patterson? Do we send him out on loan again, or do we keep him and let him just be the understudy to James Tavernier?
I think you need to keep him. What happens if Tav gets injured?
Mm-hmm.
I get it though. I guess it comes back down to the if we're planning on fighting on, most fronts for trophies. Do you give him more game time in cup competitions, or do you start putting some more trust in him in some of the league fixtures as well? It's a difficult one. It really is a difficult one, but I would keep him. I think if I was asked the question, keep him or loan him. I think we'd be pushed, as in Balogun, he played a couple of games at right back.
Never again, but never again.
I know it was a European game, Ibrox. I think he struggled, and particularly I think he ended up coming off in the second half. But I think you need to keep him and try and give him as much opportunity as possible.
Yeah, Ali, it's a difficult question. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the way loans work, and I don't know how contracts and all that work. I'm not even going to pretend that I do. But as simple as you do it on FIFA, you can recall a player if you want. Is it that easy? I mean, is that what Rangers do with them?
Usually with a year's loan, a lot of clubs put a recall in it in January. I think you can put recalls in it, to be fair, any time. I'm not sure how that works, but usually in January they'll do it. But I would keep Patterson. We don't have, as Jamie says, if Tav get injured and we loan Patterson out, for instance, we don't have cover at right back at all. There's nobody there. When we've mentioned Balogun,
well, King played there the other night as well, but again, he's not ready for. He's not in Europe or something.
No, so I would keep Patterson. Like Jamie says, I think we could give Patterson some of the cup games, if you like to say. The problem is Tav's the captain, so he's going to want to play every week. He's not going to come out to. It's difficult. It's who thought 8-9 years ago when we were down in the lower leagues we'd be sitting here debating about how good our squad is at the moment and the players we've got? It's frightening at the moment, and it's a brilliant problem to have at the moment. I mean, you look at the other side of the city at the moment, and God knows what they're up to, but they must be looking at Rangers going, they are streets ahead. How do we compete with them next year? Because the options we've got at the moment is absolutely frightening. And the boy Fashion Sakala as well, I'm buzzing to see him. He can play any in the front three too. So it's just, everything's positive at the moment with Rangers. This is positive. I just can't wait to get going with it.
I'm the same. I think Nathan Patterson can feel quite hard done by that. He's broke into the team just as James Tavernier hit his peak as well. Do you know what I mean? It's so unfortunate, and he's the captain, and you're right, mate. He's not going to want to sit out a game. So it's really difficult, and it is so good. The fact that we're even sitting here debating after 10 years a youth right back, mate. A youth right back. Do you know what I mean? Like, gone are the days of Ricky Foster and all that crap that we used to sit and watch. Do you know what I mean? So
he actually had not a bad game against us as well on Monday night.
He was okay. He was okay at best. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really good time. It's a big summer coming up, and as I said, it's all going to be finished off with a game against Real Madrid. You really cannot ask for a better time to be a Rangers fan. It is absolutely tremendous. So that'll do us with Rangers news, but please don't leave, everybody. Just stay, listen to the rest of us. We'll just round up the Euros, lads. Rude of us not to. We all know now that the final is going to be Italy versus England. The Spain and Italy game, we'll touch on that first. That was absolutely terrific. Just two footballing giants of international football just going for each other. I thought that game was absolutely incredible. Jamie, did you catch much of that game? It was whirlwind stuff, man.
I actually never seen it all. I seen the highlights, which it was just completely end to end. Spain, I thought I did feel sorry for them. I thought they were they struggled at the beginning, but they seemed to come into the tournament. But I felt really sorry for Morata as well. But you knew he was going to miss that.
100%, mate. Everybody knew as soon as he walked up, I hit it. That's the problem with Morata, honestly, is like he scores that goal. He scored peach of a goal, absolute cracker of a goal. As soon as he steps up to get the penalty, everyone went, "Oh, he's missing that." It's unbelievable. Ali, did you see much of the Spain Italy game?
Yeah, it was a cracking game, to be honest, end to end. I thought Italy would win it. I tipped Italy to get to the final. Spain played better than I thought they would play. It was quite dead open at times, to be honest, for a semi-final. You'd think they'd be a bit more cagey, but the two of them had a go at each other. When Spain got the goal back to make it one each and went into extra time, I thought Italy. It was mainly Spain. I thought in extra time that was more likely to get the goal. I thought Italy had kind of ran out of steam. I thought that goal kind of knocked the stuff out of them a wee bit to bring it back to one each. But when it went to penalties, I fancied Italy. I fancied them all day long. And like you say, when Morata stepped up, it was like Mbappe last week, whenever that was. We all knew he was going to miss it. And like you say, the goal he scored in the game was a great goal, but he just didn't look confident stepping up. I just knew he was going to miss it, and that's what happened. And if I had to choose one of them to play England in the final, it would be Italy. To me, Italy, they look like a team. They look like a team that's played together for ages. They look like, if you want to say Rangers at the moment, we described Rangers last season, that they know each other inside out. They look like a team that are with each other off the park, etc. Italy are like that as well. They don't look like a team of individuals, Italy. They look like an actual proper team. They know what they're doing. And Mancini obviously is managing England, so he'll know the English players really well. So yeah, it was a great game, and I was happy that Italy get through. I know Scotia will be happy as well. So he's got Italy to win the Euros, so he'll be cheering them on Sunday.
Yeah, I think they deserved it really overall, and especially the tournament they've had as well. Italy have been really good from the kind of the start of the tournament, and everybody said the same thing, that they just look like a proper team. So yeah, congratulations to them, and that obviously led us on to England v Denmark. Seemed like a much more tense affair, and it kind of drew me in last night. I mean, I was I'm not. Well, I've said that a million times. I don't have an international team really. I mean, obviously, I want Scotland to do well, but I really couldn't care less about international football. But the big tournaments I'll get right into. But last night, the England game pure drew me in, and I was like, even after England had scored to make it 2-1, I was like, oh, if Denmark got a goal here, we're going to go to penalties. This is brilliant. I hope this keeps going. And obviously, England have managed to see it out. Ali, you were in England last night for it. How was that?
Yeah, that's why the pod's late, because I was getting off a flight from England there. But yeah, no, I was down at my head office, which is in Exeter. So I was down there for 3 days, and I knew this date about 4 weeks ago, and I looked at the fixture list, and I think I said in our previous pod, I knew England would make the semi-finals, and unfortunately I'd need to be in amongst it. But no, I was down there, and they're all buzzing down there. I went in, they had England flags, they drenched an England flag over me in the office and all that, so I had to stand with photos with it and all that, looked miserable. But no, we went out and watched the game, and this hotel they set a big beer can up with a big outside telly and all that. It was quite good, to be honest. But I mean, I'm like you, I'm not a huge international fan. Scotland, I've not got that connection with Scotland. I would say, being down in England, they are all united as one down there. Up in Scotland, we're not. And you can put that to Nicola Sturgeon, SNP, the SFA and all that. Try to explain that to somebody now from England, they won't understand that. But down there, they're dead united down there. It doesn't matter what club they're with, they're one down there, which was quite good to see. But I wanted them to lose. I went into the office this week and I said to them, I says, I'll be honest, I want you to lose. I don't like you. And I'm the only Scottish guy that works for my English company. There's about 200 staff we've got. I think I'm the only Scottish guy. But no, it was a great goal for the boy for Denmark. And obviously, I still fancied England. When they get to one each, it was a soft penalty as well. And I turned to the guys at work and I says, Denmark had run out of steam at that point. The best shot they had was getting to penalties. And England, I mean, you look what England's got on the bench to bring it on. It's frightening at times. And they should be getting to finals and semi-finals, England. And yeah, it was to be in amongst it yesterday. It was when they scored that penalty. I mean, they were all jumping about, going mental. I just sat there, and we went back to the hotel last night, and there's all drunk folk, and they're all singing "It's Bloody Coming Home." I'm sick of that song already, and but I can't begrudge them. England deserved to win that game. I said to them, as much as I wanted them to lose the game, they deserved to win the game. They did. Denmark put up a good show. England are a far superior team to Denmark, and they showed it. And I think it'll be some cup final. I really do. I still fancy Italy, to be fair, but yeah, they're all absolutely buzzing down there. It's mad seeing that, because, like I say, up here in terms of Scotland, we are really not united as much. We did a wee bit over the Euros there, but it's nothing like it is in England. They are united down there, and it's what it is.
I know exactly what you mean, mate. You'd have seen the St George's Cross. That's what it's called, St George's Cross. You'd have seen that everywhere you went as soon as you crossed the border, mate, I'm sure. So, yeah, I mean, Jamie, let's be honest, though. You're more inclined to be up for watching England v Italy than you are Italy v Denmark. I mean, no disrespect to the Danes, but, I mean, England deserved that last night, really.
They did. It was still an exciting game. I thought England were quite nervous to begin with, and obviously, as you said, Denmark started well, and that free kick was something else. Hit really well, although I think we agreed that McGregor would have saved that.
100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah. But no, I think it's a really exciting final. Italy, as you say, been a really exciting team to watch. England have been as well. They've got a lot of pace. They're a strong side. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the final.
Yeah, I can't wait. I actually can't wait for it. I think it's going to be really. And again, I'm just more involved in it because it's England, and not that I want England to win before anybody comes and shouts at me for not being a Scotland fan or something. I'm much more up for it now that I know it's England v Italy. And look, I don't know who's going to win. I really don't know who's going to win. I really want a good game. I think that's all we're really looking for. But I said quite early on that England could do quite well in this competition, and to be honest, it's about time they do well. So they were bound to do it one time. Ali's laws of averages that he always uses when Rangers are playing Celtic is they're due one against us, they're due one. So I'll say England's due one against the world, I should say. But
and 6 of the 7 games are at Wembley as well.
Wembley, I hammed it. Wembley, yeah. I mean, it's literally written in the stars for them to win this. Yeah. It really is. It really is. So
I would say on just watching that last night, 60,000 fans were in that stadium last night. No social distancing, nothing. It looked like a normal game. And here's us pissing about. I don't know. We play Arsenal a week on Saturday, and I don't know what we're going to get, 2,000 fans or something.
If you're lucky.
You look around these stadiums, you think, come on, when are we going to fucking join the party and let us back in? But it looked brilliant last night, it really did.
Yeah, I think I messaged you, Jamie, that last night. I said, I think it's the atmosphere that's getting me pulled into this game. Like, I had the volume up a wee bit louder as well, just because of the noise of the crowd, and I was just like, it's just sucking me in. Like, it was just the whole feeling of it.
The atmosphere, like you say, was incredible. Obviously, we're fed up with that song, but it was very good. It was good, and it made you think about us getting back.
It's all it makes me think about as soon as I see a stadium full. The most impressive one was Hungary, I think, wasn't it? When it was absolutely packed to the rafters, man. Like, just open the gates, man. Let us back in. Let us just go on with life again. I'm sick of this. Everybody else is. Let's just go on with this now. I'm just desperate to get my Ibrox back. I really, really am. But Ali, your money on Italy then?
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Italy. Italy, you always think of Italy as a defensive side that don't concede goals and nick a goal and it's 1-0 Italy. But I've been shocked by Italy. They've been very good to watch. Like I say, they play like a team. Insigne up front, I think he's a cracking player. I think it'll be really tight. I really do. If I've had to put money on it, I would. Italy. I think Italy will win the game 2-1.
In extra time?
No, in 90 minutes.
Ooh, there's a bet. Jamie, who are you taking?
I put Italy on at the very start of the tournament, but for the game, I'll go a draw. I think it'll be 1 each, and it'll go to penalties.
Oh, that'll be amazing. I hope that happens, mate. I really love that. Who's your winner going to be?
Italy.
What did you get, Jamie, Italy to win the tournament?
9-1.
9-1.
It's not bad, that.
Aye.
I'm going to go with England because I just have a feeling. I have that feeling that they're going to do it. I just think that they are. I'd say it doesn't annoy me as much as it annoys everybody else because I'm not really that invested in Scottish international football or politics for that matter, the way it seems to be with Scotland up here. So, no, I mean, I just have that feeling, and especially the way that they responded on last night. I mean, even that one where Kane went down before they actually got a penalty, the noise of the crowd even just shouting for a penalty, I was like, my God, man. I was like, if they score here, this place is going to go berserk. And now, as I say, now that it's going to be in the final, Wembley would be unbelievable, man. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, not that I'm saying that I want England to win before, again, anybody has won at me. I just think England are probably going to win it because it's written in the stars for them. It really is. They've played every game pretty much at Wembley, so I think it will be England. But we'll see. Can't wait for it. I really can't wait for it. So just before we go, lads, I'm just going to finish up with a wee story. So today, I'm not going to name people because that's not fair, but today I got a message from somebody, and he's like, a group of my mates are going to Liverpool this weekend for a stag do. Magic, mate. And he's like, they've paid sponsor money to Tranmere Rovers so they can get into the media suite to watch the football. So they've all chipped in money. He sent me a screenshot of the response from Tranmere to say it's casual dress code or something like that in the news suite or something like that. And I was like, that is absolutely tremendous. 8 guys are going to turn up steaming out their nut to watch a friendly with Rangers. I think it's absolutely brilliant. That's commitment right there to getting yourself back to the football. But kudos to the lads. By the way, that is absolutely tremendous. It made me giggle today, so I thought I'd just finish with that wee story. So lads, that'll do us for tonight. As I said on Monday night, unfortunately we won't be back on Saturday with a club reaction pod. We're all busy, we've all got stuff on. This was all planned before we even knew the fixtures were coming out, but there will still be content coming your way, so just keep your eyes out for that. But Jamie, as always, mate, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. Speak to you soon, boys.
Cheers, mate. And Ali, thank you for just making us wait about until you decided to get yourself home from celebrating in England.
I'm sorry, I couldn't tell the captain of the plane to actually go a bit quicker for me. So yeah. I'm here anyway, and I've done it. So there we go. That's commitment.
That is commitment, mate. That is commitment, and I appreciate it, mate. So that'll do us. Just a shameless plug, as always. Please subscribe to our channel, like the video, give us a wee 5-star rating on Apple Podcast, leave a comment, follow our socials, as it really supports us and really makes a huge difference. Thank you to all for listening, and remember, come down to the Bars for Bears Family Day on Saturday and say hello. It'd be nice to meet you all. So we are Club at 22, the Champions Podcast, and we'll speak to you all next time. Cheers.